few months back, I built a his and hers desk setup area for my girlfriend and I, and ever since then, I've been spending around 15 hours a day in that chair. And one thing I realized from doing that is that there's a lot of room for improvement when it comes to quality of life enhancements. So that's what we're gonna be focusing on today. I'm gonna be installing a number of devices, like over a dozen or so, different devices and gadgets to really optimize the setup for work and play. I'm not gonna be touching her setup because she doesn't really use it all that much, so for now we'll just leave it looking as it is, very pretty. But for me, you can see that, first of all, I really like an open, clear desk space. It just clears my mind, so instead I put everything on this pegboard, which is inconvenient because anytime I wanna access the external hard drives or SD card readers or my cables or headset, I have to stand up from my chair and reach over because it's too far away. Obviously, this is a huge first world problem, but it does slow down my workflow significantly. So what I wanna do is make everything within arm's reach. That being said, I don't wanna clutter up my desk, so a lot of the stuff that we're gonna be installing today is gonna go underneath the desk. That being said, there's a number of items that we'll be adding above desk level because it just doesn't make sense to go underneath, as you'll soon see. And the specific desk that we're using for both setups actually is the Platform 6 from Corsair. It's enough space for me to put both of the huge monitors and my desktop on top of it. However, it also makes the PC further away from where I'm sitting. So anytime I want to use the USB ports or power it down, power it on, I have to wheel over my chair or just kind of walk over to the PC and handle it there. So we're going to be optimizing that as well. Let's go over all the different parts that we're using. I have a bunch of them.
Before we continue, this video is sponsored by Rocket Money. Guys, as some of you know, I have a crippling addiction to Pokemon trading cards.
Pikachu.
I can't tell you how many times I've almost lost my house because I blew all my money getting loaded on booster packs. That's when Rocket Money stepped in and saved my life. Rocket Money is the personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and manage your money so you can pocket the savings. Now I can afford Pokemon cards without having to sell legally acquired catalytic converters. I've been using Rocket Money to easily cancel unwanted subscriptions. It securely identifies recurring charges and takes care of the cancellations for you, making customer service calls ancient history. You can even cancel from within the app with just a few taps. Might as well tap some waifus while you're at it.
Me?
Simply upload a photo of your bill, and a few taps later, Rocket Money will automatically negotiate your bills, from internet services to cable and phone bills. Members who use all of Rocket Money's features save up to $740 a year with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. Don't let unwanted spending make you so desperate for Pokemon cards that you're doing favors behind the pawn shop on Lakewood. We've all been there. Go to rocketmoney.com/bitwit or click the link in the description to get started for free. You can also unlock even more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/bitwit to get started for free.
For starters, I put links to all this stuff in the description in case you're interested, but the first item that we have here is a USB hub. This is a USB Type-C hub, 10 gigabits per second on 3 of the ports, 2 of which being Type-C and 1 Type-A. The rest are just USB 5 gigabits per second ports. All the devices that are going underneath the desk are going to connect to this, which is going to make it a lot easier than routing them all the way to the PC. That's especially helpful if I ever need to get under there and uninstall something for whatever reason. Instead of having to undo all the cable management going to my PC, I can just unplug it from the hub. It's a powered hub, so it comes with its own AC adapter. It has buttons on the side to toggle power on and off for each individual port. And like I said, it's a USB-C connection, but it also came included with the handy dandy Type-A adapter that's attached to it, which is super convenient. I'll also be installing a wireless charger for my phone from Ease Power. This actually gets mounted, this little platform gets mounted underneath the desk surface, and then you can actually charge your phone through your desk surface as long as it's under 30 millimeters thick, which I believe the Platform 6 is. Also, the power button. You guys probably saw this coming when I was talking about how the PC is far away from where I'm sitting. This is the same external power button that I used for the Workbench video. I love this one because it's sort of recessed and it makes it really hard for accidental presses. And then we also have a fingerprint reader. I love fingerprint readers for logging into Windows. It supports Windows Hello. This is one of the higher rated ones on Amazon. A lot of them are garbage out there. This one works really well. That's going to go under the desk as well, so we're going to need a USB extension cable to reach our PC. So there's one from Amazon. And then these are my personal card readers, one for audio that I use as a standard SD card reader, and this is specifically for my A7S III from Sony. These are also going to get mounted underneath the desk. I'll probably use command strips for these instead of just 3M adhesive or something like that, because I want to be able to also rip them off at a moment's notice if I need to take them for events and stuff like that. We'll be making some audio improvements to the setup as well. Right now I have a very simple audio solution. It's just a gaming headset from Corsair, but I want to switch things up and actually start using my Focal Stellias more often because they're a really nice set of headphones. They sound amazing, and I want to actually listen to some good music, maybe some lossless files, HD audio, and things like that. So we've got a FiiO amp DAC. This is the K5 Pro. It got really good reviews on Amazon. People on the audio audiophile subreddit said it was a decent unit for the price. It's about 150 bucks. However, my Stellias don't really need an amplifier because they're already low impedance. I think it's like 32 ohms or something like that. But what I do want is a 1/4-inch jack, because that's what I'm using with my Stellias right now, and a nice big volume wheel all within arm's reach. So this is also going to get mounted underneath the desk. So again, I'm not really using this for its amplification properties, but rather just for functionality and convenience. Speaking of audio, I'll also be adding a set of bookshelf speakers to the setup. This is the Edifier R1280 DBS. This is a fantastic set. I actually already own one of these. It's back at the office, at the studio. These are the same set of speakers that I have mounted directly above my main monitors, right on either side of my wall-mounted PC. For what, 120 bucks that they cost, they are fantastic sounding. They are powered, not passive speakers, so we won't even need to use the amplifier for it. And ordinarily, I never add desktop speakers to my setups because I just don't use them. But as I've been editing the podcast lately, which is, generally an hour runtime of just dialogue, my ADHD goes wild and I start walking around the kitchen and snacking and stuff while wanting to listen to the audio and just monitoring it closely. But the gaming headset that I have, that Corsair headset, has terrible range. So I just want to be able to blast them on the speakers so that wherever I am in the house, if I want to do some light cleaning while I'm listening to Ian and I talk during the podcast, I can do that with a set of desktop speakers. We also have some cleanliness tools here. We have a mini vacuum. I actually found this on Amazon. I was looking for desk vacuums. I didn't really find too much under that search, but if you look for car vacuums, then you find some really decent portable vacuums that are handheld and battery operated. But the cool thing about this model is that it's also an air duster. So you can actually, it's got two modes. You can either use vacuum or you can use it to blow air off of your keyboard and stuff like that, which I thought was really cool. This is advertised on Amazon as being for your car, for car cleaning, but I can't see why it wouldn't work perfectly for a desk as well. We'll test it out later, see how it does with dust and cat hair and all the other crap that's on my desk right now. That's why I left it dirty, so that we can actually give it a run. Oh, you guys remember this? The booty panel, the display panel that I did a dedicated video on for some dumb reason. If you want to watch that, it's probably the most ridiculous video I've ever done. But this is for my PC. This is the Overwatch booty panel. It's just an LED display. It's not an LCD. It's just this static image with a backlight. It's absurd, but it was just collecting dust, and I was like, you know what? If I can look at booties all day while working, why not? So we're gonna install that into the PC. I've got a bunch of cable management stuff here, tie downs, zip ties. We also have double-sided tape and some 3M adhesive, command strips, a little bit of everything to ensure that we're covered regardless of what we're installing. And then we also have a surge protector. Right now, my surge protector is six outlets. It's plenty for right now, but once we add all this stuff, we're gonna need more outlets. So this is a 10-outlet surge protector. It also has 3 USB Type-A ports and a USB Type-C port. Very handy. That is everything for now. I actually have 3 or 4 more items on the way, which are also pretty cool, so stay tuned for those. We're not gonna wait for them though. I'm gonna start installing all this stuff because it's gonna take a while. Again, links to all these items can be found in the description below, but without further ado, let's get cracking. All right, the remaining items have finally arrived. Let's quickly go over them. First of all, I have this fairly cheapy set of drawers that go underneath the desk. They're just made of plastic, nothing too fancy, but this is where I plan to keep all of my external drives, USB drives, and any charging cables that I use on a regular basis. It's gonna be nice to have these close by. The only thing is that I've already installed so many things underneath the desk that I'm a little worried we won't have room for both of these. Hopefully we can mount the larger one. I don't know about the smaller one as well. We'll have to wait and see. And I also got a under the desk headphone holder for the Focal Stellias. I actually really like this design because it's got a curvature, it's got a curved lip instead of just a flat base, and that's going to help protect the very sensitive leather headband so we don't get any nasty creases in that. I also have these cover plates for our power button, our power switch on the PC, because I have a PC, my case has the power button mounted on top of the case, and it often gets accidentally pressed by my cats. I don't have any little kids running around the house, but in case my friends bring over their kids or something like that, it's going to help prevent any accidental presses from them as well. It's just got a little sliding mechanism, cheap, made of plastic, very affordable online. I'm actually pretty excited about this one, an LED monitor light. This is a bar light that goes on top of the monitor and it casts a nice even diffused glow on the desk. I can just see things a bit better, but it's also supposed to help alleviate eye strain so that my monitor isn't the only thing that's illuminated at night. I was really debating, I've been curious about getting one of these for a while, but I wasn't sure how useful they were until I did some research on Reddit. A lot of people swear by them, so I'm curious to see how this works out for me. It is USB powered. I like that. We don't have to necessarily use an outlet to power it. It gives us some more flexibility, and it comes with the remote control as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and install the rest of this stuff, and then we'll do a grand tour of the desk. I'll give you my honest feedback on every single thing we've installed today, what works, what doesn't, and what further improvements could we potentially make down the line. The desk is complete, and to be honest, it doesn't look very different than it did at the start of this video, but when you take a closer look, there's a lot of little improvements here that add up to make this a much more optimal space. Let's just get started with everything that's above the desk, and then we'll work our way down until we're underneath it. These Edifier speakers, absolutely love them. Like I said, I already have a set at the office, so I know they sound great. For being a 2.0 setup, I did consider getting a subwoofer or a 2.1 system. I'm just so impressed with what these two speakers are able to do, especially even in the low frequencies. They just have a lot of bass. It's a very nice neutral sound, and I don't really feel the need. I'm not blasting music from this setup. I don't plan to. I have Sonos speakers scattered throughout the house. This is really just, again, for monitoring my audio and dialogue when I'm editing the podcast, and they do a fantastic job of that. They're connected for power to the new power strip that's underneath the desk, and then that's it. That's the only cable. Of course, there's the wires connecting one bookshelf speaker to the other so that it also gets power, but then it's connected to the PC via Bluetooth. So it's a fully wireless system. Sounds great, looks great, absolutely love just like the black aesthetic, blends in perfectly, and it really fills in those empty gaps that were on either side of the desk. And I'd say that that's probably the biggest aesthetic change to the setup overall, apart from the monitor light. I don't know what it is, but I just really love the way these look. I'm sure some people hate them. Personally, I don't know what it does. It just does something. It's such a clean straight line. It's, you know, it's like parallel, it's flush with the monitor. I don't know. But also it's just super functional. I can already tell I'm gonna love this a lot. You can just see how well it's illuminating the desk setup. I was afraid that it was only gonna illuminate the right side, and obviously it's stronger there because it's on the right monitor, but it does spill over to the left as well. It's connected via USB-C. It's got a USB-C cable in the back. That's going to the, also the surge protector, one of the USB ports on that, so very handy to have those USB ports on board. And then it's got this remote, this sort of knob remote. I feel conflicted about it. It looks clean, it looks nice, and it works. The top of it is technically a button. You press that to toggle the power on and off. And then you also have the top knob, so that spins kind of like a dinner plate. That adjusts the color temperature, and that works really nice too, although the actual top is a little bit loose. It's a little on the cheap side. You can kind of see it wobbling there. It's not at risk of falling off, I don't think, but it just doesn't feel all that great. And then the main knob is for adjusting brightness. And this works perfectly fine, although it's a little slow. I feel like you have to turn it a long time before you get to where you want to go. But apart from that, it does work. That's obviously completely wireless. And then we also have the vacuum. I almost forgot about our little vacuum here. Absolutely love this thing. It was 35 bucks, totally worth the money. Is it gonna deep clean your entire setup or your PC? No, it's not really for deep cleaning, but it is great for just maintaining a desk so that it looks clean all the time. It's got two modes, Eco and Max. I was able to pull up all of the cat hair and the dust on the entire setup with just Eco alone, but Max is great if you've got a more heavy buildup of stuff, although it will drain the battery a lot quicker, so beware of that. It does have USB-C charging on the bottom, which is super convenient. And this backside is where air shoots out. This is where the exhaust side is, so with the proper attachments, you can, again, use this as sort of an air duster, which I use to clean the keyboard quite effectively, I might add. The vacuum side also worked well for cleaning up my mouse pad quite a bit. If I really wanted to deep clean my mouse pad, I would probably just hand wash it or throw it in the washing machine, but just for quick, simple, easy maintenance, routine maintenance, it's fantastic. There's one more thing up here. Oh yeah. So the power button, our little power button slip cover here. So I actually got to test this in real time when I installed it because my cat was sitting on top of the PC at that moment. So yeah, this just slips on really nicely. It actually fits this power button on our Corsair case perfectly. You can see right there. Even if your power button's a little bit bigger, it should be okay. Should cover most power buttons. And then we got the booty panel. Let's go. Super easy to install. I just used some adhesive and then stuck it onto the PSU shroud on the bottom of the case. This can go pretty much anywhere in the PC, really. I've seen images of people putting this on their graphics card on the side of their coolers and stuff like that. I think it looks good here. It's got adjustable brightness on the backlight, which is nice if you have a tinted tempered glass side panel, so it really shines through. You want to get all them booties shining through nice and clear, baby, them peaches. Oh, I almost forgot to talk about the wireless charger here that's underneath the desk. I guess it lives up to its name of being invisible wireless charger because it's so discreet. Again, I have the actual charging plate mounted underneath the desk surface, and then it's charging my phone from the top here. It actually includes this little sticker as a reference point so you know where to put your phone. I conveniently located this so that it's right at the edge of my mouse pad, so all I have to do is kind of slap my phone against the edge of my mouse pad, and then it magically starts charging. Like any wireless charger, it's going to be a lot slower at charging than if you were to just use a direct cable. However, if I'm sitting at this desk for 8-9 hours editing, it is nice to get a few extra charging points in there. A little bit more juice. Let's see, 21 minutes until full. It's already at 92%. So yeah, relatively slow, but again, we're really going for convenience here. Going underneath the desk now. Cue underwater noises. So here's the cable management bar, cable management tray, I guess, if you will, that actually actually came with the Platform 6 desk, so this was already here, and you can sort of see our new surge protector with everything connected. I really didn't give a shit about keeping things neat here. This is really just functional. You can't really see it anyway when you're standing, so out of sight, out of mind. But this is where all the main wiring is, where all of our power is coming from. And then from here, we actually have, this is our 10 gigabits per second hub that's actually wired to the back, the rear I/O of our PC into one of those 10 gigabits USB-C ports. And from here, we have a number of things connected, like our SD card readers, most notably, because that's where data transfer comes into play the most. And these are working perfectly fine. You can see that I've mounted both of these to the bottom of the desk using command strips so that I can easily rip them off at a moment's notice if I want to take them on the go. It's super convenient. Get back up there. Unfortunately, the cables coming off these card readers were too short to wire back to our USB hub, so I had to get some extension cables. The ones I bought are way too long, so I had to wrap them up. I guess it's fine. Maybe I'll replace them with shorter ones in the future and use these for something else. This is the extension cable, USB 3.0 extension cable for our fingerprint reader, which is absolutely fantastic. It's lightning fast. It was a really easy setup with Windows Hello fully supported, and just absolutely love it. It makes signing in an absolute breeze. There's a look at our power button, by the way, which is just mounted right at the edge so that it's super easy to access. The drawer, which actually has a fairly decent length. I was only able to install one of them, as you can see. Fortunately, it's the larger of the two, so I do have plenty of room for external drives, USB flash drives, and charging cables. And then we also have the last thing connected to the USB hub, which is our amp DAC. The amp DAC, the FiO K5 Pro. Absolutely love this thing. Just look at how pretty that is. I mean, it's super simple and minimalistic, but that's kind of why I like it. The volume knob has this really satisfying click when you turn it on, and then it's got the LED ring around the volume knob. The volume knob could not be any more joyous to turn. It just feels so good, very tactile, very smooth. You've got gain and input switches right here, 1/4-inch jack. Absolutely love it. This is mounted to the bottom using 3M adhesive because this is more of a permanent solution than the SD cards, for example. And then I have the headphone holder for our Focal Stellias, which is going to be used with the amp DAC, of course. For the longest time, these were collecting dust in my closet, and I felt really guilty about never using them because they're just so nice and they sound so good. And now I'm just really happy that I can actually sit down and enjoy some good music from time to time in between work sessions. And you can see from this angle, it looks like I have a lot more room to mount stuff underneath the desk at the front edge, but this is where I'm sitting, and I wanted to avoid mounting anything directly in front of me because I just know that it would get in the way, it'd be annoying and cumbersome, or I might potentially knock things off with the chair and stuff like that. So I saved everything that I wanted to mount down here for the left and right sides. I'm super happy with the setup now, but in hindsight, there are a couple things I wish I would have added, which I may very well still add in the future, like a USB hub at the front of the desk. I don't know where I'd put it at this point because it's already so cramped, but just another simple USB hub with some Type A and Type C ports would have been really convenient for just anything, dongles, external drives, USB flash drives, and things like that. And then the other thing is some plants. It just looks a little too sterile. You know what I'm saying? Like, it needs a little bit of organic growth. So I don't know. And I've got plants around the house already. I could probably just use one of those, but then I need to replace that plant. So maybe, I don't know, like a plant up there, like a little vine plant hanging down, something similar to that one. I don't know. Look at these dead roses. Here, let me get these dead roses for my girlfriend. They're mine now, woman. Yeah, see, that looks terrible. Don't ever do that. I need some plants somewhere in this setup to make it look a bit more organic, a bit more inviting and homey, I think would be a nice touch. Maybe I can actually put a fake plant on top of my PC. That would actually keep the cats from jumping onto it. That's 2 birds with 1 stone right there. But obviously, a desk is never done. So if you guys have any ideas on what you would do to further improve what I've already done today, please let me know. I always love hearing your guys' ideas. You often have very good ones that I haven't thought about. So feel free to blow it up. And that's pretty much gonna do it for this video though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, toss a like before you go. Get subscribed for more tech content coming at you really soon. And I will see y'all in the next video.